handle goes like this. Boom, boom. Hi there, welcome back to the second part of me building my second electric outboard motor. On this video I'm gonna mostly show you how I built the new handle for the motor, because the one that I bought from China, it was cheap and plastic and I broke it. So I decided to design and print my own handle throttle stick. So let's see. First I needed to solder the wires to the potentiometer, because the fitting is so tight on the handle, there's no room to do any kind of connections. So here's the first part of the handle. It's the kind of the mount where the potentiometer goes, and it's really tight, but it's really good because it doesn't allow it to turn there. And now you can also see in the background the reason why I'm doing this voiceover. I couldn't record any sound because my girlfriend, she's a dance teacher, so she's making the choreographies for the next lesson. So I screw the top on, and that holds the potentiometer tight inside, and then comes the handle that turns, and it pretty much just snaps on. It's also really tight, and there's a hole that I printed there, and it should be aligned with the tab that is on the top of the potentiometer. Now I just have to drill the hole to the potentiometer so that I can put a kind of a pin through it to make sure that it doesn't slip inside of the handle. Yeah, here I did a time lapse of the design on the part that goes to the motor. And yeah, I'm using, people asking what is the software that I'm using. I'm using the Autodesk what is it, Fusion 360, and the slicer that I'm using for my printer, it's Cura. There you can see the name. But on this design I made a mistake, and I'm gonna explain it now. Okay, so I just realized, I was already printing this, that I realized that I made a huge mistake with this. It's twice as wide here that it should be. And I also made a better hole here for the cable. So the aluminum stick goes in here, and it also carries the cable from the throttle handle inside of it, so it comes out from there. So I went back and made it shorter. Now it's now it should be the right size. But it's pretty easy to do this kind of a adjustment later on, because you have the timeline down here, and you can go back to the time when I extruded this. So I just made it shorter. Let's go back to Cura and clear this. Now I'm gonna load it again. So I'm gonna save it. Now let's take this to print. Let's put the card in. Let's see the this was the first one, which was way too wide. First it's gonna do the prim outside of the Okay, so we are about halfway on the print, and now you can see the different holes coming over there. The axle that keeps this in place is going this way. I think it's gonna take another hour to finish. It says 47%, so about halfway. So print is done. This is how it came out. Oh, yeah, it's stuck pretty good. Looks pretty good. Just need to go down to my basement to make sure that the fitting is okay. Now I'm gonna just try the if this goes in, and it does. Yes. Just gonna hold it in place. Yeah, this is the handle that is gonna go on the other end, and this goes to the other end, and the aluminum pipe goes between these. Yep. Let's see if this goes. Yeah, it does. Also after, because this was a, well, it goes, yeah, doesn't matter. Can you see it? Yep. So yeah, I got all the parts now. It's time to go to the basement and test it out. Okay, welcome back to my basement. This is how things are now with the my second outboard motor. So, sorry about the lighting situation here. Don't have any lights over here, and the battery from my flashlight is running out, so I'm using my headlamp to light this thing up. So, well, the good news are this part that I printed was perfect for this. Kind of a shell over there that is 12 millimeters, so that snapped on and it keeps it in place. And also the hole in here, it's just the right size for this. I made it, this is 22 millimeters, I made it 22.5 millimeters, so just right. But now the next thing is to cut this in a right length, which is around here. Also, I'm gonna use these holes that are already here. Just gonna cut some extra from there. And yeah, I don't have the bolts and nuts for these holes over here, and also the ones that are in here, because yeah, I forgot them on my boat and I didn't remember to bring them with me, so but I can still test it if it works. And also I made sure that now the rubber bar part, I got the extra out of there, and now it fits there and this fits there, so yeah. And also I've been testing this, my new handle, throttle, and it also works. So now it's just cutting some stuff and putting everything together, and then I can test it if it actually spins the prop properly. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna just run through all the things that are making this throttle handle thing. I shot the clip earlier where I showed you how did I construct this throttle piece and how the potentiometer is inside. But now I got the aluminum tube got to the right length, and also I got the holes over there. Now this goes through, comes out on this side, and it goes in there, and it should go okay. Might be a little bit tight, but yep. And also I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a small crack over there, so I used this part of the pipe that was already, the hole was made there, and it was a little bit fatter on this side, so yeah, I think it was that that made it crack. But I can print it again, and I can print it a little bit bigger so it doesn't crack. So it fits there pretty good, I would say. So the next part is to put this through here. Like that. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to get as much light here as I can. So this should, yeah, let's just try it out. Oh. It's, like that. Yeah, I think it works. Yeah, bit of a tight fit, but goes. Huh? This is the wires from the handle. So I got the motor mounted on. I also put the controller on this side. It was first I put it on this side, but because it was too hard to screw these open, these things over here, if I need to correct some wires or put some wires or something like that, I couldn't do it over here, so yeah. Yep. I got the battery. It's already on. There's a green light over there. I'm just measuring the amps now coming from the battery. So let's test it out. As you can see, the motor is just resting here, so it's pretty loose, but as you can see, there's not that much vibrations. There are some, but yeah, it's pretty good. That is full power. No. about 10 amps. It's about 10 amps when it's now freely turning over there. That's okay. Now I'm gonna test the volts that it's taking, that it's putting to the motor. So the voltage is at the maximum power 26.5, which is normal. I think the battery is 27.8, the voltage from the battery, but the controller always adjusts the voltage and the amps, so they are not the same, never. The bigger controller on my sailboat, it also uses, the amps are usually pretty much higher than the amps that it's drawing from the battery, and the voltage is lower. Yeah. But yeah, I think it looks okay. Well, I had the idea to mount the battery. If I take it off now. I had the idea if I mount the battery here through the cover, but I'm not sure if. I think I'm gonna put it on the bottom of the dinghy. Make some kind of mount over there. Maybe use this kind of rail that I got here. But yeah, I think I'm gonna test it right like this first, and then figure out what is the best way to mount the battery in. As you could hear the sound, the whining sound from this controller. Yeah, I think it's because it's a cheaper one, and yeah. But the good news are, I'm not sure if you heard, but once you put the full throttle on, the whining stops. So it's just whining when you're using the lower voltages. This is how it goes. So I'm gonna wrap it up now. I think it's gonna be I hope it's gonna be like a week or something until the ice is gone, and I can take my dinghy back here, pump it up, go across the street, and throw it on the sea and test this motor out. I think it's gonna be, well, at least about 4 weeks, 3 weeks maybe, until I can haul in my sailboat. Thanks again for watching, and see you soon. Bye bye.